Hello, hello. How are you? This is Antoine, also known as PurpleFireCrow. Welcome to Deaf Woke.
Okay, today, Thursday, January 21.
January 21, 2020.
Before we start,
2021. I would like to acknowledge the land we stand on, the Ohlone land, my home. It's the indigenous peoples. They were first here before people colonized. So the Ohlone tribe, I want to make sure I recognize them. A lot of people don't know that I'm Cherokee, Blackfoot, and African American. So I want to make sure I honor my people. This is also why I'm known as PurpleFireCrow.
Oh, you guys are good.
I hope y'all are good.
I think they're happy. I know you guys, some of you really excited from what? Where did the wow? See that?
Did y'all see that?
Did you see that?
The inauguration.
ASL.
Did you see the sign language Pledge of Allegiance in ASL? That was quite inspiring. And in our cabinet, to have the first Black woman signing the Pledge of Allegiance. That was quite inspiring. I got goosebumps just watching it. We'll save that conversation a little later. Something we'll dive into with my little friend, with my friend. That might be something she might be interested in talking about. You know, with the new president, it's time to bring in new things into 2021. So I look forward to this conversation this year. So welcome to Deaf Woke. Now, why is Deaf Woke something that is important? Because there's so many things that are happening in the world, people, things that are hidden. And it's truth that need to be revealed. And that's what I'm here, giving that truth to the community. People who are well known, whether know or don't know, hearing or deaf. Scientists, business owners. Today, my friend, Jubil Khan, she'll be here shortly.
My interpreter too.
Now, before we start with her, I'll introduce my interpreters. Where are they?
Yeah. We look good.
We look good.
My interpreter, Jay.
My interpreter, Jay. Interpreter, Kaylee. Both are amazing. Jay will be interpreting for me, and Kaylee will be interpreting for Ms. Jubil Khan. Thank you, interpreters, for providing your service for today. No, a lot of people don't know that Jubil Khan is from Philadelphia. She went to Temple University, got her BFA in dance. She has studied at an array of schools and companies, pursuing African hip hop. That's what she got her BFA in dance for. Hip hop, modern, ballet dance techniques. Among her credits in TV and film as an extra in Law and Order. She has roles in multiple award-winning independent films. The Shattered Mind as Iman, and Parallax as Milani Bardo. Both death roles. Also, she acted as Sophie, directed by award-winning director Elena Jane. In theater, Almost Maine, death role, and an award-winning play. Fetus de la Nuit, she was involved in that as well. She was an understudy for Purple Lady. And for Colored Girls. That was off-Broadway. And multiple ensembles, roles in deaf Broadway plays. She was Legally Blonde, the musical. Currently, grooming her careers in other outlets to create a brand name as an entrepreneur, as a well-platform-inspired Black deaf woman, to never give up, to always strive. You know, we're going to talk a lot about her family, school. She's a strong advocate for our deaf community. She's a model, dancer. She was a TV host. Gifts and talents are of many. Her talents are so wide, it's beyond the bridge of San Francisco. I can spend this entire night, all night, talking about her achievements. So let's bring her on and let's have a little fun chat. So welcome, my friend, Jubil Khan.
Hey.
Oh, you're a better dancer than me.
Oh, whatever.
How are you?
I'm fine. Wow. Just the way you're going on, singing my praises. Thank you.
You are talented, brilliant, just brilliant. I think we've known each other for a long time.
Yes, we met. Well, we met in February. We met in Oakland, and it was a local chapter event. I was there. There's a group of us gathered. Yeah, I think from then on, we've just kept in contact with each other.
Yes.
You know, we've been at dance events together, but we haven't gotten a chance to perform and dance together, just dance events.
A lot of people don't know that you are an incredible dancer, actress.
I do a lot, yeah.
You know, growing up, we're trying to find that role model, that deaf role model. You know, I'm on the West Coast, you're on the East Coast. Where did you grow up?
I was born and raised in Philadelphia. And my mother, I grew up with a single mom. So it was just the three of us. And I grew up hard of hearing. And I wasn't really exposed to the deaf community in my younger years until I arrived at MSSD's Second Model School for the Deaf.
What, MSD?
Secondary Model School for the Deaf. It's in DC, Washington, DC. It's on Gallaudet's campus, so it's very well known. And I went to high school there. my journey of finding dance, of art, it really was birthed at MSSD, the same time that my deaf exposure and culture was growing and developing. Because, you know, I wasn't from a deaf family, and I grew up in the hearing world, you know, I was using my voice and surrounded in that environment. And so when I went to DC, I really just flourished and thrived there. You know, I opened up myself, and I grew into my authentic self, and I found deaf culture, and you know, it is such a deep part of me now, and I value that culture so much. It's where I found, you know, my freedom, my safe haven. You know, and that's where I found the world of dance.
Yeah.
You know, at home with my mom, we would listen to music and like Janet Jackson, you know, and
That's
dance
my
to
wife.
her
Yeah.
all the
I don't know if
time,
you know that.
recorded. Yeah, I would always just pop right into the front of the frame, you know. I always wanted to be dancing, and that was my outlet for creativity.
Inspired by Janet Jackson. You know, actually, you know, that's my ex-wife. Of course, he's not.
Yeah, not me.
You know, you know, it's very difficult trying to find and connect.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you and I, we got a lot going on, so we touch base every so often. You know, there's a lot of vibrant deaf dancers on the East Coast. You know, here on the West Coast, it's so challenging, you know, to find individuals who look like us. You never know what the future can hold. So you did Law and Order?
Well, to be honest with you, I was in the background. It was in Philadelphia. That's where the set was, and they got in touch with a list of they had a list of, you know, managers and directors from New York, and I was modeling at the time in Philadelphia, so I had a network built there. And they said, "Oh, why don't you do a background for Law and Order?" And you know, I didn't really, you know, resist that, because I had always had like a dream to go to New York. And you know, high school, college, graduated. I'm like, well, what do I do now? I want to explore some opportunities in theater and acting. And so I started to immerse myself in that world. And you know, New York. I mean, it's New York. You know, that's that place to be. So, you know, that's how I started that. And I was just, you know, a part of the background. I was in more of an independent, in independent films and roles. I did some roles, but they were background roles in those films.
You know, I was reading that you went to Temple.
Mm-hmm.
And then you did the movie Shatter Your Mind.
Shatter Your Mind.
Was it an entire deaf cast?
Yes. Again, you know, I had finished college, and I was looking to settle down, you know, at home and pursue dancing and modeling. But with acting, that required a commute. That had some travel involved. And so I finally decided to move officially to New York. I know, right? That was around 2009. And you know, I just decided it wasn't worth it to commute back and forth to Philadelphia from New York, and vice versa.
Yeah. That's your dream.
Yeah,
you know?
and I just went for it. You know, you just have to go for it. So that was 2009, and I moved to New York, and I did Shattered Mind. I participated in that role. and that was an Ella Jane film. And it was an all deaf roles. There was some hearing, but mostly it was deaf characters, deaf roles. They really wanted to spotlight the deaf family, deaf culture. But that's when I became, you know, significant more my hearing decreased significantly, so I was more deaf.
Yeah, you know, being involved as a deaf person in dancing in films, and then being deaf and finding roles for a Black woman, those challenges.
Yes, and there was an acting school there. In general, you know, talking about the Black deaf community, we really have to think about how we are setting ourselves up for success.
Yeah, set up your own opportunities for yourself. Yeah,
exactly. We have to set up those opportunities for ourselves, especially the Black deaf community. You have to set up your own legacy, your own name, your own image. So, you know, whatever you want to be, if you want to create something to leave for our next generation, to leave your name on history, you know, you have to create that yourself. And that's my goal. I want to set something up that I can leave for future generations. Something that'll leave when I'm gone. And I want Black deaf women to be seen. I want to share that story, my story.
You're still actressing and dancing?
Well, dancing, modeling, you know, it slowed down a little bit, you know, taking a breather.
What you talking about?
Taking a bit of a break from it, you know, gotta recharge. But I'm doing some collaboration projects with another woman who has a modeling agency. So she's pulling me back in a little bit to collaborate with her on a project. So, you know, some stuff comes up every now and again that I go back to.
You never really leave. You know, before you may have done it by frequency, but you know, you kind of always stay with it.
I think I just wanted to set up, you know, my own schedule, my own path. I want to continue to do what I love. I just want to set it up on my own terms. And with acting, you know, I was working with a deaf director. Her name was Beth.
Yes, yeah.
And yeah, she wrote roles for all deaf women.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
You know, some witches roles, got some what else do we do? Ghosts and kind of spirituals, witches who are, you know, they're making their potions, that kind of thing. And so, you know, these women were the lead. But we ended up going our separate ways, but I really enjoyed being a part of that cast. That was such a barrel of laughs. I really enjoyed it. But I did, you know, I go back to it.
You know, I really want to talk about, you know, that you know, kind of diverted and developing into your own business, and you want something stable and that financial stability and wealth. You know, what is your business? What are you growing?
The business is me. I am the business. I have to have that mindset. I am the business.
I am the business. Okay.
Yeah, and my goal is to create wealth. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
People think that.
Now, some people don't may not know what that means of creating wealth. So,
Right. And wealth is not becoming rich. It's not quick and easy. You become rich and you're rich today and you can lose it all tomorrow. And that's because people don't know how to manage it. You don't know how to make your money work for you. Some people don't know how to make the money work for them, and so they continue to struggle and they continue to live a lifestyle that is not constructive and not producing wealth for them. So you have to know how to make your money work for you in order to become financially stable, in order to be in that situation. And so most people don't know how. You know, unforeseen things happen.
yeah.
And I want to build wealth, generational wealth. And, you know, I want to be able to thrive. And I want to, you know, have that solid mindset and have others develop that mindset, share my knowledge.
Re-educate ourselves. So things that we were conditioned to believe, you know, with the impact of COVID, everything changes. Our ideas of wealth, our ideas of education, everything that we had once learned, we have to unroot and start from scratch. You know, that is scary. That is scary to start again, start all over. But it's interesting. You know, you did this one career and then transitioned to something else. Didn't do that before COVID. And then because of COVID, you're starting from scratch again. You know, I love that mindset. I am the business. You know, preparing for yourself, preparing your mindset. How did you do that?
Well, I'm glad you asked me. That's a good question. I think it's so important that we all self-reflect, that we all think about what we need to change and realize that we have choices. And if you want to make that change, that means I might not be able to continue doing, you know, this path. This is what I want to do, you know? And it's important to realize that it's the mentality that you hold, it's your spirituality of that mindset. We say that, you know, we want to manifest. We want things to manifest for us. And then, you know, situations happen, and how do you respond? Are you optimistic in what you're envisioning? You know, you want your life to be? Do you know who you are? Do you know what you want, that you want to build this generational wealth? You know, our ancestors, you know, some of us, we are descendants of slaves, and we've seen how our ancestors had such power and how we have power.
Yeah.
You can, you know, you can do this, and it just depends on your mindset.
I like what you said. Understanding your worth, knowing your worth. What you do, you want to make sure is worth it. Make sure it's worth it for you. Make a decision and stick to it. You know, I'm curious, who's your role model? I mean, whether it's in business or dance.
What's interesting is you're asking me, like, you know, kind of like when you're young, it's like, well, who do you look up to? Well, right now, I think for me, it's a little bit, you know, caught between a rock and a hard place. You know, they are technically not, you know, a role model. They're somebody that I look to for accountability, an accountability partner. I look to them for inspiration.
We have to be our own role models. Say it, I can't hear you. We have to be our own role models.
We really have to be our own role models. You know, you can look for an accountability partner, but when it comes down to it,
that's right.
When you're hitting the nail on the head, you know, when it comes down to it, you have to be your own role model. And my friends and I will meet up, you know, during the summer, and you know, we're not looking to get in any trouble. We are Black deaf women, and where we were around a university, and she wanted to become a lawyer. We were around Howard University, and we weren't looking for any trouble, but we were, you know, walking through the campus, and there was some, you guess who? There was somebody there that I was introduced to. She was my role model. And she exposed me to so much. She was somebody that I found that I could look up to. You know, we developed such a deep connection. So that was really an inspiration for me. And that was a really inspirational moment for me. So I was able to, you know, learn who I am and develop my own self.
Yeah, some people don't know that Fred, he's an actor, DC. Also goes by Wawa, Warren Snaps. Actually, him.
Oh, everyone knows
amazing
them.
dancer. Yes. Black. Yeah, Black Magic. Yes. Yes. And Claudia. A lot of people don't know that, you know, Claudia actually worked in Washington, D.C. She was in the White House, one of the legal advisors.
Mm-hmm.
An incredible Black deaf woman. Just gives me goosebumps thinking about it. You know, yeah, if you don't see your role model, then become your own role model. You know, we want to see change, but it starts with us. You know, that change starts with us, you know?
Mm-hmm.
We can be that role model for the people. I love that thought process.
Yeah, we can be the change, and we can be inspired by, you know, the things that we do. For example, you know, quite some time ago, I was in a deaf production.
So you were Miss Black Deaf MSD. So you won that pageant, okay?
Yeah, I was in a pageant, and there were so many strong, educated leaders in that group of people that, you know, you can look up to.
Yeah.
Having those strong leaders is so inspirational. You know, I think that's what a good role model is.
You're exactly right. You know, people want to know, what is your number one advice for getting into dance or running a business? What's your advice to them? Yeah, it's kind of a 2-in-1 question. So, you know, if you're dancing, where should you start? You know, or running a business, you know, how do you start? What's your advice for them?
Well, how to start a business, I would say just learn. There's different things to think about of what to do, what you don't want to do. But for example, I mean, you could create like a clothing brand, for example, random example. You should write down, you know, a list and I suggest research heavily.
Yes, research.
Don't just take it lightly, willy-nilly. You have to do your research. The more you research, the more knowledge you have to work with. You can, you know, categorize things and know exactly what it is you want to do. Narrow that down. Because people will always put their suggestions out there. And if it's not what you want to do, don't do it. So figure out what you do want to do. What you yourself want to do. Because some suggestions are great, but you have to know for yourself what your goal is, what you're projecting for your life, what you want to accomplish. You know what I mean? You have to know who you are. You have to know what you want. So I suggest researching. And then you were talking about dance?
You know, some people are, you know, infants in dance, and they're trying to start.
Yeah, I mean, there's virtual classes now. Yeah, online. There's classes on the internet now.
Yeah.
Technology is progressing.
You know, the children are watching. You know the show Living Color. Fly Girl. Oh, I was in there watching that when I was little.
Yes.
That was me.
That was me. That's funny.
Right. You know, virtual TV.
Mm-hmm.
Just go and do it. Just get involved. Just do it.
Do it. It's so easy now. We can do it from home. If you feel, you know, uncomfortable doing it in person, you can do it from your own home. And that's a perfect start. So take advantage of that. You know, I'm sure there's free classes out there. Some you might have to pay for. You know, that's normal, you know, be compensated, but take advantage of it.
You know, when it comes to Black supporting Deaf, or Black supporting Deaf Black, what comes to mind? You know, maybe those currently watching identifying as Black or white. So, you know, supporting Black business. What's the first thing that comes to mind? You know, when we realize that the privilege exists. You know, there's privilege in business. So as a community member, you know, for me, you know, I've always said, if you want to know about a different community, get involved in that community. You know, go to their events. It's the same, you know, it's common sense. You know, if a hearing person wants to be involved with the deaf community, they jump involved, come to our events. You can't just learn sign in a lecture type. You know, you got to be involved in the community. You know, I think it's just amazing for people to, you know, they have that desire, but the fear blocks them. And they want to support, but they don't know how. You know, I tell them, you start by researching. Then you get involved. You know, it's the same. You know, you to do the research, and then you get involved. Is that, am I right? I'm on the right track?
Right. Yeah, you have to be involved, reach out, network. You know, ask questions. What else? Research. Those are the main things you have to do. You know, if you want to know more, there's Black Deaf support. Let me think. I mean, oftentimes it's a challenge for people because people think, well, that's not my cup of tea. That's not my, you know, my field. I'm not really interested in that. But, you know, they still need support. Because we want the community to grow, to develop, to thrive and expand and grow, you know, and that comes with more people being involved. So I suggest, you know, for people to, yes, be in their area of interest, but also support others.
Right. Right.
You know, that's how we're going to gain support, have others be interested in what we're doing, and vice versa.
You are awesome. You're so brilliant. Yeah. You know, you're, you know, being involved in so many different things. Now I'm going to challenge you. It's challenge time. It's game time.
Oh boy. And this is where I hide.
What's the name of the game? Name those people.
Oh, there's so many people. I know I'm gonna forget something.
It's real simple. Can you see me?
I see you.
It's simple. Simple. All you gotta do is name those people. Maybe what they do, or, you know, give us something. I'll give you credit if you can give us something if it's not their name.
Okay. Oh. This is beginning with a C. Chris? No. Oh.
Harold Fox.
Harold Fox. Oh.
Yeah, he's an actor, comedian, writer. He's deaf. He has his own show. 80,000 followers. Born in Memphis. And he's living in LA. He graduated from Gallaudet as well. He's he's amazing.
Yeah, I know. He's so talented. I knew his face, just not his name.
Girl, please.
Oh,
yes, Michelle Banks.
Yes.
She's native of Washington, D.C. Award-winning actress, writer, director, producer, choreographer, motivational speaker. She was on Soul Food, Girlfriends. Oh, I love me some Michelle.
Beautiful. Gorgeous. Oh, well, we already talked about Claudine.
Yeah, Claudia.
Claudia.
That's your role model. Yeah. Mentor. Yep, Claudia L. Gordon. First female attorney in the United States. She's currently working in the U.S. Department of Labor's office.
So beautiful.
Yeah, this is who we were just talking about. This is who you know. This is who you mischievous.
She's the one I met at Howard. Yep.
Yeah, that's fair. This is a hard one.
Oh, I forgot.
You know what she does in life? She is hearing.
I know she's a business woman.
Yeah. You know where she's from?
Africa?
Yep.
Okay, from Africa. Tip of my tongue. She's like a millionaire, a billionaire, right? Oh my gosh, I don't know.
You said millionaire.
She's the number one, the first African-made self-made millionaire. Oh goodness. She's oh, I did not remember her name.
Her first name is on the screen as interpreter Floronso Alakajaya. She's a Nigerian billionaire businesswoman. She's involved in fashion, oil.
Yeah.
Richest woman in Africa.
That's Alakija. Oh, yes.
And she's a billionaire.
Oh. Willis.
Yeah, Alejandra. Yeah, she's an actress.
Yeah, I danced with her in high school. We grew up together. Dancing, high school, went to New York, met up there. Yeah, we've done a lot together. I was her understudy for Colored Girls.
Perfect. He's involved in movies. What do you think his job is? What do you think his career is?
Hands in motion, I think. Art.
He's an actor. Is he? Martial arts?
James Kelly.
Yeah. Martial arts. American athlete, James Kelly. Involved in various movies. Into the Dragon. It's the Bruce Lee film. He was in it. Same picture, big afro. Yeah, this is a tough one.
I honestly haven't really paid a whole lot of attention to weightlifting in the Olympics. This is the female weightlifting championship. I don't know.
Linda Murray.
Okay, Linda Murray.
Time Miss Olympia. Champion for bodybuilding.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Now that's my role model. That's who I grew up admiring when I was little.
Really? Wow.
It ain't easy. It ain't easy having that physique. You know, people kind of, bullied her and because she, quote unquote, looked like a man. But I mean, it's amazing what she has accomplished.
Obviously.
He's in Black Panther.
Actor.
Yeah. Actor.
I mean, I
What's the film
recognize him.
that he was
Obviously, I
in?
recognize him.
What's the film? Which film?
From Black Panther.
Yeah, Black Panther. He was in Creed.
Oh, I'm so bad with names. Oh, Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
He's an American actor, film producer, film director. Yeah, he's the leading man in Creed. He's in Black Panther.
Oh, so a lot of movies, so many.
You did it! Yeah!
I guess.
Wonderful, wonderful. Good job. There's so many people that that were playing the game along with us. They were trying to help you out.
Oh, they were showing me. I didn't see it. But Creed.
You didn't see Creed?
No.
Oh, it was a good movie.
Yeah, I knew it had a good cast, but I didn't see it.
It's a really good film. Rocky and Walking Creed. So in the original, Rocky fought his father Creed, and so it was kind of the son picking up walking the steps of his father. This might be a spoiler alert for some people. There's one character that's hard of hearing, which is quite interesting. So now this is the time for the audience to give us some questions. So audience people, if you got questions, go ahead and bring them on. So in our live groups, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you're watching from, go ahead and leave a question in the chat box, and we'll try the best to answer your questions. So this is the segment of Ask Jubil Khan Anything. So I'm looking at the questions. If you want to get some water. So the question comes is, I wonder if raising funds that can lead to expand communities and networks for Black deaf business owners whom white deaf people come to. Just wondering.
I assume they're talking about how to do that, with like how to fundraise that so that we can expand Black businesses, Black deaf businesses. And so really the individual businesses, you have all different owners, and so they need to network with each other. Reach out to sponsors, to someone who can provide funding. And so that's what I was saying. You have to go back to researching and be able to find, who can sponsor, who can support, this project, this business. Have your elevator speech. This is my proposal, my idea, my project, and try and find somebody who can support you. Maybe a larger company. I'm trying to think. That donations, sponsors. You have to have, something to show. Because if you go with nothing, you're not going to be able to get those sponsors. So you have to have something to show them, something, that will give you, some credibility.
Another question. What is your favorite song? Oh yeah, we didn't tell people that you're good at the renditions of songs in sign language.
Well, to be honest with you, before I did have a favorite, but now there's just so many songs, so many genres. I listen to a lot of R&B.
R&B?
R&B, that's my go-to.
Give me some, Tony Braxton.
I
Face.
love Mary J. Blige. I mean, always. Just come on now. That's it for me. Just the soul, the strength. Oh. But really, just such a variety of music. Jazz. I love jazz.
Yes, yeah.
I'm a dancer, so I'm used to, picking a lot of different songs from a lot of different genres. But again, Mary J. Blige, my girl. I'll have to think about that.
What do you do to keep yourself motivated and inspired?
It's a good question. I like that question. I meditate. I meditate a lot. I journal. Really, I just lay it all out on those pages. I do different workouts like yoga.
Yoga?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No, I remember you said something.
Sorry, you were saying? Let's see. And I've been cooking more. Putting that out there. That motivates me to be more creative. Get my creative juices flowing. I know how, but I'm cooking more. I'm learning more. So yeah, I meditate, I do yoga, journal. Those are some avenues that I find inspiration. I take walks. Just to the park, outside in nature.
Yeah, release.
I know sometimes, we feel really trapped and stuck and we need a way to disengage.
Yeah, so I read your bio for this event. A question from the audience. Holistic things that you're involved in. And can you please share a little bit?
Yeah, going back to that meditation. But health-wise, I do drink vegan style, like juices, smoothies, fruits. I'm getting back to that a lot. Blending all of those, fruits and veggies up and planning those out. I have like a lot of jars and cups at a time that I make for the week. And so that's a way that I keep on track health-wise.
Beautiful.
I take a lot of supplements and, juices. Really, it makes a huge difference with your energy level. And so that's kind of what I try and do health-wise for that holistic approach. I do have some cheat days let me tell you, I do. You know, potatoes, cheese. Ooh.
We all have vices. We all got them.
I do some bad habits. I'm trying to keep it in control.
And, you know what's important is moderation and being happy. You spoke a lot about being happy with yourself. You know, being happy with your life. Don't be afraid of change. Question is, why are deaf artists important? You know, why is deaf art important?
Well, often we hear about, you know, the deaf community, and it's not in regards to art, you know, that's typically, you know, we hear about hearing artists. And so I think it's so important that we link art to the deaf community. You know, it's who we are. We are creative. And a lot of times the deaf community does not have that recognition. And, you know, there's often limitations in their home environment or in school. And so it's so important for deaf artists to be able to express themselves. And it's so important that others allow deaf artists to express themselves. You know, the deaf community tends to be ignored, marginalized, and we have a voice. We have a story that needs to be heard.
Exactly.
And it can happen inside the deaf community too, you know, that tension, that crab theory, you know, we need to express ourselves, and we often do that through art. That's how I was able to do it.
Yes. I see you have a friend. Wow.
Oh, hi.
You got people who love you, girl.
A long time ago. Not specifically. I was dancing with a group with Heidi Lesky, our company, out in New York. And her company, wow.
Oh,
there was so much diversity, and you know, and the disabled community was so included. People in wheelchairs, people without certain limbs. So much was shown and included, and so it was amazing to see. So yeah, I was a part of that company, on and off. Right now, no, not currently.
Some people miss what you had said regarding. One moment. Some people have missed what you said about who your inspirational mentor or role model was.
Oh yeah, that was when we were discussing Claudine in high school. She was that Black deaf woman, so strong, and she was an inspiration for me. And so going forward, I was able to grow from that relationship. But again, I was saying that it's important to inspire yourself, for you to be your own role model.
Oh, wonderful interview is a statement in question. How is that her video are so crystal clear? Secret technology.
Lighting. Know who you are. You are the business. And I definitely have felt inspired by other people who, you know, really their energy just exudes from them and it's infectious.
Cool. So, you know, what's your social media? So y'all can follow Jubil Khan. These are her social media sites. She has Instagram, Facebook. Her Instagram handle is at Jew_JRock7. Her Facebook, well, y'all are probably familiar with the Facebook website name. So facebook.com/JUBIL.KHAN. You still in Philly?
I'm in New York still.
You miss Philly?
I mean, Philly, my home, you know, so.
I think that's where I met you in Philly. I was in Philly. What was the theater? Broadway House, or was it Jazz? Yeah, close to the Jazz University.
Yeah, it was that center. It was northern Philadelphia. Yeah.
I remember the first time I ate a Philly cheesesteak.
Hey.
You know, it messed me up.
Oh.
It was so good. And I come back to California, there's nothing like it.
Where did you get it though? You have to go to South Street.
Yeah, that famous place. Lines are forever.
Oh yeah, the line's gonna be around the block.
Man, it messed me up. I will never forgive y'all for introducing me to that Philly cheesesteak.
No, unfortunately, we don't have that here. You can't get that kind of meat anymore. It's a part of Philadelphia history, but no more.
So you're a vegetarian, huh? Okay,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
okay. You know, first off, thank you so much for sharing your story. You know, it's an honor to recognize you. You've done so much. You know, you've done a lot of things. You know, you continue motivating people, you know, uplifting people. You know, it's an honor to see that. You know, it's a big honor to have you involved in Deaf Woke. Do you have a last message for the people?
I think my message for the people would just be to just start learning about things. Don't wait, just go for it. Learn and be golden.
Be golden. I like that.
You are who you are. So, you know, just find something that motivates you and get going. And be the authentic version of yourself, you know. Be genuine. You'll make mistakes. You'll fall down sometimes. You'll hit a wall, but just keep going for your goal. You know, there's so many different avenues. Figure out which one you want.
Yeah, it's okay to traverse sometimes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The audience. Thank you for sharing your wisdom. Okay, I'm gonna let you go. So you can go ahead and turn your camera off.
Thank you so much, and thank you to the interpreters. Bye.
Wow. That was great. So great. I want to make sure, people go and follow her social media. Instagram is at Juju _ J Rock 7. Facebook is Julia Khan or Jubil Khan. So Deaf Woke's, final thought. You may have one career and you may not fully leave that career, but it's okay to traverse to something else, change your life, find pursuit to happiness. It's okay to start from scratch, research, be open-minded. Don't be afraid. It's okay to be scared, but don't let that bog you down. It's okay to ask for help as well. She was talking about changing her dietary intake, changing her environment, changed her energy level, the journey. Even if, you may or may not be involved in the deaf community, when you get involved, you become woke. You start to partner with people. And sometimes it's okay that if that time with people is only short, it's about connecting and sharing. You don't have to have one career. You can have several different type of careers, different type of talents. I remember growing up, people told me focus only on dancing. So I listened to them. But I felt like I was holding myself back. I wasn't listening to myself to allow myself to be adventurous in different things. So I started acting and painting. It's proof you can do whatever you want. So I want to thank Jubil Khan for coming here today. So Deaf Woke. Now I want to say thank you to a few people. First of all, thank you to Jubil Khan, the interpreters, the audience, Hal Round, Drop Labs, and you for watching. Y'all, man, there's so many amazing people. Yeah. The interpreters are all right. Yeah. Wow. Great. Yeah. There's some good interpreters. No, just, thank you so much. Now, remember, give yourself permission to listen to yourself. Just, remember, hearing people, deaf people, this show is about deaf journey. All because you can hear doesn't mean you know how to listen. Not listen with your soul. So go ahead, listen to yourself, and you will find your growth. So peace, love, and I'm out. Antoine, also known as PurpleFireCrow. This is Deaf Woke. Let's go ahead and bring in that music.